I see y'all guys.
That's a bright room.
You know,
Bernard, one of the greatest fighters of all time, getting inducted this weekend. What's the best memory in Vegas that you've had?
no, I'm good. Like,
Being that it is Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame?
First of all, I would never walk out on y'all guys. Only if I had gloves on. I see my guy with the hat on over there. Then I see my younger guy out of the crew. And it's good to be here, man. And one thing, too, it's good to be here around other inductees and other champions that put in good work over the years. And one of them, of course, is Winky Wright and Hassan Rahman, and go on and on. But yeah, it's really it's a really respectful flashback of what you have done over the years.
What's the sweetest memory out here in Nevada? Was it knocking out Oscar?
Well, it was that was on a level of stardom, yes. So that was sweet as far as in my career and winning a fight that I was by the scorecards. They said I was losing, but I think it was more of the multiple fights I had in Vegas / the desert, because when you fight in Vegas, that's actually the stage of you made it. Like New York, the Garden, don't get me wrong, has a different feel than when you hit the Vegas stage. There's something about Vegas, the biggest entertainment city in the world, or especially in the United States. So you got people from all over the world comes to Vegas, and Vegas is the worldwide mecca of entertainment and boxing. The biggest fights happen here, and then it's New York and whoever else in the middle, and whoever else is in the categories of 2, 3, 4, 5, and all the way down to the numbers. But Vegas is where you made it.
How fitting is it that you're coming in with Winky on the same class?
That's good, man, because of our history, and also because Winky, southpaw, one of the best defensive fighter of my era, including, Floyd Mayweather. But Winky Wright had a really tight defense and a style that can either make you look bad or he would beat you up and you would never be able to get him with a good, clean shot. So Winky was one of those I call them sleeper fighters, like a guy come in, don't look like he'd do too much, but hands always up, good defense. And they say, you got cuts and bruises all over your face, later in the fight. So Winky was one of those type guys that was like a workhorse who continued to work round by round by round. And having been knocked out many times.
What's the reason why you got into the fight game?
The boxing game. Inherited from two uncles from both sides of the family, mother and father, and also from the neighborhood and upbringing of the community. And as I say, been introduced basically by bloodline of uncles. Had a lot of fighting in the neighborhoods, and had a lot of fighting in school, had a lot of fighting in reform schools to county jail to state prison. And then it became clear that this is what I want to do. Because obviously I went through some other stuff before I realized that, this is my way out. Out of where? This is my way out of the thinking that I ain't had nothing to contribute to the Hopkins legacy and also to society, whether it's sports, whether it's to my family. This came later on. I wasn't thinking the way I'm thinking now and then, but I realized it late 20s, around 23, 22, came home at 25. And I go all the way back and fast forward to 25. There was some transitional times where I asked myself, I really got through that. And it wasn't a thing where I closed my eyes and I woke up on the beach after being in the ocean. It wasn't that type of party. It was based on putting the work in, obviously, but there's a lot of things that could have sidetracked me that I took on head on, and most of the time defeated it. Sometimes it was a minor setback, but not a major setback, because that's why I'm here for the Hall of Fame weekend in Las Vegas, for my second inductee into the Hall of Fame this year. This is my second.
How different, though, is this guy sitting before us now, the Hall of Famer, one of the greatest fighters of all time? How different is this man we have now than the man who did have to spend the 5.5 years in Philadelphia? Or what do you feel you always had those good qualities?
Different and then and now, so that's two different people. Back then, you wouldn't be interviewing because I would have had your camera. Somebody else would be either buying it or I'd be trying to find out how can I work it, because I didn't think about why would I take his camera if I don't know how to use it. But I would have found out something, I'd have found a way what to do with it. But the transition and knowing who I am was key for me to be here at this table, having this conversation multiple times with everyone here. I do remember faces more than I know your name. And boy, I am so glad and honored to be honored, and also to pat myself on the back to remind me that I deserve that, to give myself a hug, but not bask in it for life, but because things won't let you. But you must understand that if I can pull through the odds of the norm, then I'm the poster man to never give up, never throw the towel in, and definitely never let no one throw it on you and you accept it. You can throw it in, but you can kick it out and throw it out. We've seen that in the ring, we've seen that in life. So I use those lessons in life of boxing and inject it into my life personally. There's evidence, because I haven't been in any one jail cell for 30 plus years. And then I'm taking pictures with cops, federal agents, and signing autographs. And if you follow me, which I believe you do, on my Instagram.
Of course.
I was with two captains in Philadelphia, and I was raising their arms 2 days ago, literally 2 days ago, I posted that. And they stopped their squad cars and got out, knowing I eat at this breakfast spot every day. And they wanted to take a picture. And I raised their hand. I said, I don't know who won this fight, but I'm gonna raise your hand as a draw. As a draw. Who would ever think? And a book would be told in red.
Movie 2 would be nice.
That out of 7 siblings, second oldest, myself, who looked at authority as a threat. And now they are my friends and I'm their friends at higher places and in neighborhoods. So, boxing, because we're here for Hall of Fame weekend. What did boxing do for me overall? It put me in position that I know that I wouldn't have been put in if I didn't have a successful career, which is key. I don't know anybody that don't like winners. We accept, most of us, when we fall short, but it's something about the sweet taste of winning. Whatever it is, that winning and that attitude and that determination, because of boxing, because what I brought to boxing in my era and what boxing gave me, put me in a position to talk to people that I probably never had a chance to talk to or meet. Non-boxing related issues and things. And think about it. Every now and then we have a person, especially boxing, that comes around and comes along and be able to give the media more what they asked for, other than Hype Bernard. And an hour that went past and you didn't even know it. If I was going to be remembered as just that, for one question, that means you remember something about me and it wasn't bad. Maybe bad for years and you miss dinner, you miss your ride to the airport, but you have something that I encountered for life that you remember. And these are the things about the Hall of Fame that you'll hear about. Even 3 years from now, which will be 5 when it's all said and done, up in Caddyston, New York, where people would talk about what they remember about you, hopefully before you're dead. But even when you're dead, they will mention things, well, you know, and I'm gonna make sure I keep your ass up late. Even
No, keep us, Bernard, keep us. Don't stop.
You wanna make sure that y'all gonna be saying, listen, man, I just let the camera roll and I asked him how he was doing. I'm glad I had that spirit. I'm glad I had that through all the things that I had to prepare for mentally, with no apologetic bone or feeling of regrets on that part. Because every now and then you must get out what's in you. If it's talking and it doesn't do more damage, talk on sister, talk on brother. And if you're saying things that's good for the ears and good for the people that's listening, whether they agree to disagree with you, then you might be changing somebody's thought to do something that they will regret later. So I changed lanes rather than just stopping.
Bernard, there was one fight you had out here in Vegas, the rematch for Antoine Eccles. It looked like you almost broke your shoulder midway through the fight. They said you didn't have to keep fighting, and then you got up and knocked him out. Do you feel like that fight, being that we're in Nevada and that was in Vegas, that fight shows as much as any other fight who Bernard Hopkins was and all about?
Yeah, because without getting through those ordeals, you wouldn't have probably seen them other fights. See, those steps, whether it was P levels, whether it was A, whether it was, legendary moments or fights, to get the Antoine Eccles 2 tough fights and the 3 tough fights with Robert Allen. Yo, it's repercussions in not winning. For most of us. There's a very few that can not win in either a rematch clause or whatever. Joshua Ruiz, right?
It's going to be in Saudi Arabia, by the way.
That's gonna, well, I don't know how many people from here are going to be there, but I'll tell you what, I'm predicting they change the venue before the time.
Mm-hmm. We've heard those stories of the Middle East for fights, and it's happening more, but it doesn't always come through.
I'm telling you on camera, don't be surprised, and I don't have no secret news. I'm just telling you, once it sinks in to some maybe who wasn't paying attention, but they still intelligent, it ain't Saudi Arabian Avenue. It ain't Saudi Arabian Road. It's literally another country. When they realize that they gotta take a 3-4 days trip or whatever, 18 hours, whatever, I think that the cry and the fans in both countries, Joshua's land and also in the United States, we got time to change minds, I guess, when it happens. But nevertheless, we're here in Las Vegas, Hall of Fame weekend. I'm really retired. 60 years.
I was going to ask you that.
I'm really retired. I know, I read your mind. See, I told you.
Yeah, but I mean, now you've been like part-time promoter, part-time fighter for a while, and then now you're just promoter. How are you enjoying that? Especially the Canelo fights and all the big fights.
And you know what? This is one of those transitions where what you've done in the sport physically, if you have any sense, you won't do it in this side. So this is a change of how to get across that same response. Same motivation of work, and hopefully get a good response out of it. Between the politics, between the stripping of the title for Canelo, for the rumors that's flying, he never, he didn't know about it, this, that, all the things that makes a good soap opera, but reality in boxing. And then when all that stuff is sorted out and the clouds spreads and thins out and you can see the blue sky again, it becomes now like, okay, let's get to work. This has been, to me, a transition that was more, to me, convenient. I prepared for it even when I didn't know at the time that this would play a big factor in my transition. What do I mean by that? Well, I've been my best promoter. Whether you disagree with my shenanigans or not, I've been my best promoter. So what am I doing? I'm promoting. That's the easy transition to me. I also plan ahead. Well, where's the evidence? When I came home from penitentiary in '88, I said I'd never go back because I had a plan. Every time I never had a plan, I got burnt. In my personal life and also in my business life and in my athletic life. So I understand these things can't be compromised unless you want to fail or not give yourself a second chance to win. It's survival to me and then win. It never was win first. It was survival and then win. What do you got to survive? You got to survive making sure that if you don't win every round on point precisely, then that judge out of the three can look at it totally different. And every time I felt that I know I should have done better, I got burned. And I let that lesson prepare me for the transition. Wasn't stop and then start. The transition of being a fighter still, and at the end of my couple of years of boxing, was still active. I was promoting myself, being a promoter, still being a fighter. I learned how to take that personality and became the executioner and then the alien. And then, hey, we got a great fight here at Golden Boy, here at the Fantasy Springs, Orlando. I mean, this is a normally coach talent that's embedded in me from my upbringing, even in a bad time of my life, all the way up to now. I am a talker. I don't have to convince nobody I am that. I must put this energy and this talkative mindset and personality together in order to represent both of those characters in a respectful way.